could possibly be the greatest quarterback class of all time in the 2020 COVID draft class. A lot of question marks has been reigning. Now we're gonna see if this Caleb Williams 2024 draft class has something to say about it. Yes, both are way better than that Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Flacco, Matt Ryan draft class. We're not gonna go into that, but the big question mark is Tua Tagovailoa. The Miami Dolphins just lost 31-21 to the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills is 3-0. We expected that loss. But the main culprit is Tua Tagovailoa. You know, it always falls back on the quarterback. I think their coach, Mike McDaniels, I think it's a lot of question marks with him. Jalen Ramsey exposed him on his way out as a soft coach. My Bears pretty much had some things to say about them somewhat during the joint practice. But let's get right to it. Now, they're saying, did the Dolphins make a mistake drafting Tua at quarterback? So let's go down the list. Now, let's talk about the names in that draft class. You had Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa himself, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Jalen Hurts. These were the picks. Let's talk about each one, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion. So, I'm going to be honest with y'all. But, well, you know what? We're going to get to that. But we're going to start off from the top. Joe Burrow, obviously, we don't have to discuss that. Joe Burrow went number one. He was going number one any team that had him. So, I just put him in there just because he's a part of that class. Then at the third pick, second quarterback taken off the board, you had Tua Tagovailoa. Sixth pick, you had Justin Herbert. Herbert was a raw talent, probably the most talented out of those guys, can do everything at the quarterback position. Now, this is one I think you can look back, you can say, okay, they should have taken Justin Herbert, you know, coming out of that Oregon offense. I think that's one you can say. In fact, I'm going to go a step further and say I think that's the only one. We're about to go down the list. Now, you have, with the next quarterback that was taken off the board, you had Jordan Love. Let's talk about Jordan Love. No, wait a minute, was it? Yep, Joe Burrow. Yep, you had Jordan Love. Let's talk about Jordan Love for a second. He was 28th overall, if I'm correct. The Green Bay, now, it's easy to say because of what Jordan Love is becoming with the Packers franchise, but that's the thing, the Packers franchise, he had the fortunate, unlike the other ones, he was very fortunate to not be thrust in the starting lineup right away. You know, he was able to sit 2-3 years behind Aaron Rodgers, sit back and learn from great tutelage, which helped prep him become who he is. They was able to continue to build the roster in place like they do. And as we see, it's helping them. You know, early jump, just like Herbert, early jump, 2 weeks in. They're premature, but 2 weeks in for an MVP season. I do not think he would have had the same success in Miami at all if he was forced out. I think Tua going over him was absolutely the right decision, and I stand on that. You know, it's easy to say now in hindsight when you're looking at it, but you got to look at the roles, look at what they did. So I do not fault the Miami Dolphins for taking Tua over Jordan Love from what they've seen, you know, coming out. Now, Jordan Love has been doing good with his franchise. The team is 2-0, been to the playoffs both years. They had a big win over the Cowboys his first year. Shout outs to him where he threw 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Very good season. Tend to turn the ball over a bit, you know, double-digit interceptions back-to-back years. But so far, he has 0. So we're going to see how that keeps up. And they have Micah Parsons. They my pick to make the Super Bowl once I seen they made that trade. I got the Packers winning the NFC. I hope I'm wrong, but that's my take. But I do not fault the Dolphins for that one. So far, Justin Herbert the only one. And let's move on to the last one that they give heat for, Jalen Hurts. 2 Super Bowls. Super Bowl MVP. Won a chip. He did win MVP. Didn't he win Super Bowl MVP? Yeah, I believe he did. I don't think Saquon got it. But let's talk about it. Here's another one I do not fault the Miami Dolphins for doing. Jalen Hurts, as great, I know I'm going to take some heat on this, but Jalen Hurts, as great as he is, needs everything around him to go right for him to have the success he's having. He's a guy who would tell you straight up, he's fine with throwing 100 passing yards in a game. He's about wins. Eagles have the perfect roster. There's literally damn near no flaws in that roster, top to bottom. So you put him on Miami. Is he doing the same? I don't see it. He's going to have to do more work. And I just don't see it. So it's easy to harp on him because, the Eagles another team, 2-0. Damn, I think all these guys we talking about right now is 2-0. Yep, all of them 2-0. Every last one of them. And Joe Burrow, unfortunately, out for the season. But like I said, Joe Burrow, not even in the conversation. He went number one for a reason, rightfully so. Heisman championship. Y'all know. He did win Heisman, didn't he? Yeah. So, but moving on, I think the only one you can get him heat for is Justin Herbert. And that's just my personal take. But let me know what y'all think. Did Miami miss on 3 quote-unquote generational quarterbacks? Do y'all think they could have any of these other 3 guys and it would have been different results? Again, we're not mentioning Joey Burrow because they had no chance to get him. I just brought him in there because he's a part of the class. He was the face of the class. But let me know what y'all think. Did Miami miss? Should they have drafted Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, or, damn, what's the other one I'm forgetting? Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, or Jalen Hurts instead. Y'all let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Do you still think Tua is the answer? Y'all let me know. He just got paid that money, but, we'll see in the long run.